Avram Yosef, can you hear me? I hear somebody's background music. I'm not sure whose it is.
Hey, Dallas, I can hear you.
Avram Yosef, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Here's Rabbi
Charlop.
Everyone,
I hear somebody's background music. I'm not sure whose
Somebody's
it is.
got like a TV.
Hey, Dallas, I can hear you.
Avram Yosef, can you hear me?
Yes.
Davido, nice to hear. Nice to see you. How are you? Don't hear you, but it's nice to see you at least.
Oh, there we go. How's that?
Wow, I like the glasses.
I thought you were gonna say you like the kippah.
I didn't see it till now.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, you know. And
All right,
techeles.
just bring the
You
chair.
gotta- All right, very good.
Where are you? Where are you, David?
I'm in Woodmere, Long Island, New York.
Okay,
11598.
everybody should be okay. I hear. I hope everybody's safe over there.
We're doing okay. Baruch Hashem. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Good. Nice to see you. Shalom, Ruben. Sorry, I just couldn't schmooze. You know, it was just okay. Where are we? Let's see who do we got over here today? Hananya Lasker. Very nice. Ooh, in Hebrew. Sam. Which Sam is this? Sam, which Sam are you? Do we know that? Sam, do we know each other?
Sammy Ben Shimon. My thing doesn't echo.
Oh no, there's another. This is Howie. Oh, it's Howie. Sorry, got it. Just a second. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to turn on the lights. Can you sec? Okay. All right, Sammy. Okay, you got everybody. I think you got everybody muted. Is that the idea? And I'm supposed to talk? That's what it looks like. So let's jump right into it. Let's just jump right into it. Howie, good to see you. Okay, so we are Pesach Sheni. You guys aren't in Pesach Sheni. We'll bring the Kedusha like over there. Ruben, my good friend Ruben, is there. He's in the Kedusha. He's holding already by Pesach Sheni. I just wanted to say this year I'd like to give in honor of my father. It's his yortzeit today, Pesach Sheni, Yeshua Dov ben Avram. And he's definitely one of the big reasons that if I have had any success at all in teaching and caring for guys and whatever, it's really in my father's schus. He was a person who cared for everybody. Our home was open to everybody. My brother, he should be well, Gordon, if you want to, he's a guy in the stock exchange in New York. And he used to bring over quite a bunch of interesting characters. I don't want to go through it, but my father was like, "Come on in, you're welcome." So that's how I grew up. Okay, so we're gonna do Pesach Sheni. Pesach Sheni is one of these minor days. Oh, how are we doing? Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Aaron. Yeah. Yeah. So Pesach Sheni is like one of these like little days. That's really big. It's really a very special day. So simply halakhically, Pesach Sheni is that if someone was either Tameh or B'derech Rechoka, he was distant from Yerushalayim, and there's a discussion in the Gemara, how distant does he have to be? And simply, it seems like he's just, even if he's close, he just didn't make it. So he doesn't do, and he didn't do Pesach Rishon, he does Pesach Sheni. The parsha that we have in Bamidbar, which is a very unusual parsha, that the Yidden came to Moshe Rabbeinu and they said, Lami Nigara. It's not fair. We missed out on Pesach. We were supposed to have Pesach Sheni. We were supposed to have Korban Pesach, and we didn't have the opportunity. And the Gemara has a whole discussion exactly what was the situation over there that they didn't have that opportunity. And the Gemara comes out and says actually that it was really people that were tummy maze, and it was the seventh day was Erev Pesach, and they would have really been Torah at night. And they really would have been fine. And the Gemara says we have a special pasuk that says they can't, in fact, be part of Pesach, the first Pesach, and they're pushed off for the second Pesach. But it's the whole parsha over there is very, very difficult to understand. And we're just going to use that as a springboard, hopefully, using the Nasiv Shalom. Hopefully you guys have it in front of you. Daniel Kordakowski was kind enough to put it in front. If you don't have it, so then Daniel will, he just put it over there. If anybody needs it, you can take a look. If not, I'll be reading some of it. You can join in. Anyway, so again, the halachic idea is one thing, and we're going to hopefully try to take off from there. They said, Lami Nigar, it's not fair. We missed out on Korban Pesach. Why is that? Why should we do this? So Moshe Rabbeinu said, I'm going to check with Hashem, and I'll see what he says. And he said, you're right. You missed that opportunity, but you can have a second opportunity. And therefore, he came up with Pesach Sheni, which is tonight. It's 30 days after Pesach, and therefore, we just counted the 29th day of the Omer, but just now 30 days after Pesach, and they gave him a second opportunity, which is a little bit hard to understand because there's no other time we have in a mitzvah where they said we missed out. There's no other time we couldn't shake lulav. We couldn't, let's say, couldn't go to the base of Mikdash for some other reason. Why is this the story that Klal Yisrael said we missed out? You missed out. Like, it's not geschmack. It's not a nice feeling to miss out on an opportunity of going to do a mitzvah and to be part of that beautiful little experience of doing Korban Pesach. But the answer, Moshe Rabbeinu could have told them, Mami Nigara, why are we worse? You're not worse, but you missed it. You were telling me, what can I tell you? Right? It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's hard not for me to give a shout out. Emmanuel, I haven't been in touch with Emmanuel in a long time. I want to give a shout out to Emmanuel. Okay, I'm going to get right back to business. Okay, so the question is, what's the idea over here? Shlomo, you want to take it? This is from Justin. No, she's on a share. Everybody's on Torah. I can't take it. Okay. That was my supervisor. Sorry, I'm not supposed to do that. I get that. The more time I spend in the Bay, like more ADD I got. I don't know if there's like ADD or ADHD by osmosis. Doc, you'll have to tell me about that, but not right now. I couldn't follow your train of thought anyway. Anyway, so the question really is, it's really hard to understand. What was this Lamini Gara? Okay, so that's going to be our question. Now, the piece we're going to do over here is in the Nesiva Shalom. Oh, let me just tell you one more thing. This is like just setting out kind of the terrain. As we know, this time period is a very special time period. It's Sfiras HaOmer. And in the Sfiras HaOmer, we are fixing up different aspects of ourselves. This week we just came into is the week of Hod. Week of Hod is represented by Aaron, a Kohen. And Hod is, on one hand, it comes from the word Hodah, to be thankful. But Hodah also means you had to admit to something, right? You have to admit you're in a place of more humble. It's more of a humble status. So Aaron is going to be the one who reaches out for all Yidden. He's Rodei Shalom, Ohev Shalom, Rodei Shalom, right? So this is a week where everybody gets included. And if you hear anything anywhere about this special day, you're going to hear the words Lo Yidach Mimenu Nidach. Nobody gets pushed off. Even the people that are Tameh, Derek Rechoka, people don't get pushed off. It looks like they get pushed off. Bansham says nobody gets pushed off. Ultimately, nobody gets pushed off. So this is a very profound time for people that seem to be very far, even are very far, and how we can still maintain that connection. Okay, so we're going to do the piece in the Siva Shalom. Now, for those of you that have it in front of you, you should go down to Gimel. I'm just going to give you a short synopsis of what Aleph and Beis are about. Aleph, he brings a Zohar. The wording is very difficult. We don't need to kind of break our teeth on it, but it's basically talking about a Zohar that says that 30 days before Pesach Sheni, there's a special pronouncement that the gates are closing. And there's a whole procedure about what happens, and there's going to be left over for 7 days. He's just going to talk about it in Gimel and then in Dalet in short. It's a much more, it's something that the Nesiva Shalom doesn't normally do. It's something that it's much more like a lumdis. Nesiva Shalom is a very down-to-earth sort of Hasidic sefer. It tells you like, how do we change ourselves, and how does the Torah want to change ourselves in a way that was taught to it by Hasidus. All right? So that's going to be one thing. The second thing the second thing was really kind of what we just spoke out before, of this idea of how, the halachic background of Pesach Sheni and why there's a Pesach Sheni. All right, so that's the introduction, which again, I don't like skipping any piece and kind of saying, well, this is important, this is not important, but it's all important. But I think for our purposes, we're going to do better going right into the meat and matter of Gimel. again, if anybody at any point has, you know what I'm saying? I'm not good. I'm not checking the chat, but if there's anything that comes up, oh yeah, he's got the mimer. Okay, got it. Yeah, okay, fantastic. Thank you for keeping on top of this, gentlemen. Again, if something comes up, either just, I don't know if you can unmic yourself, but if you want to send, just put out a message and hopefully I'll then see it, raise your hand. Okay, so let's go into the mimer. And let me just see just give me 1 second to pause and let me see who I'm looking at. Yaakov Kalman, sorry, it's nice to know when you go into a class and you don't know who you're talking to, it's not as enjoyable. If you know who you're talking to, it makes it a little bit better. Very nice. I really appreciate everybody joining. I hope you guys have been enjoying the Neve's attempt at reaching back out, reconnecting. It's trying to make the best of a not easy situation, but hopefully we've been able to reconnect and use this time in a positive way. Okay, with that introduction, let us go. It says like this. We're going to be jumping kind of into the middle, and hopefully we'll get the idea. Al Pia Omer, according to what we said before, again, we're not getting to that, but more or less what we just said. Yesh levar inyan kulo the Pesach Sheni. What's the concept of Pesach Sheni? What are we doing now? What are we accomplishing? Sorry. Okay. Yeah. What's the day all about? So he says like this: Ki hinei ha'ara ha'gadol shel Pesach b'bechinas bayomahu. What he said before is that Pesach has a very unique quality, and many of you guys know this concept. But if you haven't heard it, I'll just repeat it. The day of Pesach, on the night of Pesach in particular, there's a humongous flow of spiritual energy that comes down to the Jewish people. Like the heavens open. That's the Maisa. It's Yom L'Kalayla Yoyer. The Maisa in our Haggadah and by Nirza, we say that the night of Pesach was mamish like day, in the sense that night is always a time of darkness, and the day was a time of clarity. And that night was like a day of clarity. But not only was it just a day of clarity, but it was a day of clarity of Hashem opening up the heavens. Let me just tell you something that I heard from Masha's brother-in-law, Rabbi Avram Sito Shlita. Basically, he says that the light that was revealed on Pesach is a light that connects to Bereshis. That the Or Aganus, the light was hidden away, was opened up and revealed on Pesach itself. The light of Bereshis really relates to the ultimate light of redemption, which Hashem is going to reveal for all of us, right? So there are times in our history. There's really just 3 times. It's basically the birth, the marriage, and then it's not death. It's like the rebirth, right? So there's a light of Pesach that starts from Bereshis, and it connects to Mashiach also, and then Tchias Mesim, etc. So that light, there was a absolutely massive revelation on Pesach Rishon. The Inyana HaMiyuchad Shel Chag HaKodesh Hazeh, and the special quality of this Chag, Asher Nosa Barosh Kol HaMoados, that it's the granddaddy of all of the Yom Tovim. It's the spiritual source of all the Yom Tovim. Hu Shebo Nivcharu Yisrael Lios Am HaNivchar. That was the day that we were born. That's the day that we become the Am HaNivchar. When do we come? I mean, there's always a question like, when do we become the Jewish people? We were Jewish people from the time of Abraham, with the time of the Makkahs. When we become the Am HaNivchar, according to this forum, when? By Yetzias Mitzrayim. That's our birthday. So really, Pesach is a birthday party. It's a birthday party for Klal Yisrael. Because it's a time of tremendous flow of revelation of the Brishom's love to Klal Yisrael. That was the top. That was the pinnacle. And Brishom said, I'm going to carry an eagle's wing. I'm going to bring you to me. I'm going to bring you to me. Like all things that we do, it needs a preparation. And that preparation that we needed was 30 days before. I just want to tell you that I'll tell you what Hasidim say about preparation. This is a very important idea, and you should just try to it's important perspective that sometimes we don't have. By Hasidim, they say basically the focus is when we put on tefillin. Why is it that we put on tefillin? How is it we can put on tefillin? We put on tefillin because our arms work, our head works, our words we can come out of our mouth. Again, there are people that are not like that. Unfortunately, we know people. There's a guy over here. He can't do that. He can't say it. Can't do it himself. So the fact that we do it, so what do we give into the mitzvah? So the preparation, the interest, the desire, the yearning that we want, and in order to connect to Hashem through this mitzvah, that's what we give to the mitzvah. So by Hasidim in particular, there's always a focus on the preparation, which is in a certain way what we're doing now. We're preparing for Shavuos, as we talked about last week. And Hashem says, and I should have pointed this out, I don't think I did. The reason that Yom Tov is called Shavuos, it's called weeks, is because Hashem says, I want to call the Yom Tov on your preparation and the work that you did to connect to me. That's what this time period is about. And Hashem says, I'm even going to call the Torah, the giving of the Torah, by that name. So this preparation usually takes 30 days. It's a 30-day preparation. That's usually the time that we get ready. We know before Yom Tov, there's a 30-day preparation. K'de'isa b'chesed l'Avram, right? There were a few chesed l'Avram, and this is an earlier sefer. Sheyesh lamed hey chalos hatuma. Again, this is going to be beyond our scope, but let's just do it anyway. There are 30 chambers of tuma. V'lamed yom. Again, we know even though we're used to the idea of tesvav, mem tes shari tuma, like 49 levels of tuma. There's apparently in Shemaim, whatever this means, there's 30 chambers of tuma. And v'lamed yom kodem Pesach achad achal b'Purim, and 30 days, which just comes out in Purim. Yotzis nishma neshama, excuse me. Ish Israel, sorry, Nishmas Israel, b'chol yom v'yom heichel acher shel tuma. Just gotta move this over, sorry. And every day we get our neshamas come further and further out of this place of tuma. Again, what that means, I don't really know. Again, this is not normal in the Nesiva Shalom. We're just going through it to get the picture of how big this day is. Shekol's man. All of this is a preparation for Pesach. Again, that's what we talked about last week, being purifying ourselves. However, again, we're trying to purify ourselves in this time. In order to become the chosen people, to become brought to the Hashem, we can do it ourselves, but only to a certain point. We can't rely on. It's not a tahara is a gift. Connection to the Hashem is a gift. It's not like anything. Again, I heard from Rabbi of mine, just an interesting thing. Why did the Baal Shem pick Avram? Right? Why did the Baal Shem pick Avram? Why was Avram Avinu picked? So the simple answer we will all give is because he went to look for Hashem, and he went through 10 tests, right? But the real answer is, I heard this from a Rebbe of mine many years ago, the reason that the Baal Shem picked Avram is because he decided. He decided to pick Avram Avinu. Again, Avram Avinu was a good reason to pick Avram Avinu. It's always hard for me not to take little tangents because I just think there are certain things that come up that I do want to share. I want to share a question. I want to share something, an answer to a question that I heard many times. This is the Nesiva Shalom. Yes, this is the Nesiva Shalom. I want to tell you a phenomenal insight that I heard from a Jew who's a Chabadsker, and he has Pinson? Yeah, Rabbi Pinson. He has a website, very interesting Jew. And he asks a question, which we have all asked, is why did Hashem make the world? Why did Hashem make the world? And that question, if anybody who's learned Derech Hashem, has come across that question. not going to usually, this would be like normally a classroom situation. I would kind of throw it out there. Why did Hashem make a world? Right. So the simple answer is to give us pleasure, to be connected to Him. Right. That's what the Derech Hashem says. That's in the Siva Shalom. That's what the Silas Yesharim says. Hashem wanted to share from His goodness, but He said an answer, and there's something about that answer that has kind of been unsettling for me for a while. I heard from this Reb Pinkston a beautiful answer. Again, I'm taking a tangent in terms of the love that the Hashem has. And when a person loves somebody, why do they love him? Why do you love your child? The answer is it doesn't come from the head. It comes from a different part of who we are. It doesn't come from our intellect. It comes from a place called Ratzon. Ratzon means I just do. Why did the Hashem make a world? The answer is he wanted to. To give an answer of why he did it, because I want to give and this and that, that's not the deeper answer. The deeper answer is the Hashem wanted to make a world. That was his Ratzon. You can't ask a question about the Hashem's Ratzon. You can't ask something about the infinite Ratzon, the infinite desire and will of Hashem. But this, on a philosophical level, without getting too far aside, it to me is a much stronger answer. Because you can come with why you want to do good. Well, why? What about everything going around, and why is it? How's that is good? And but even so, like, why does he have to do that for? The answer is, you're right. We don't know. The answer is he wanted to do it. Why do you love the child? You love the child. That's all. What's the svara to it? What's the svara? You love your child. You love your child. The Bible wanted a world. He loves his klal Yisrael. But it was a decision that because of him. But even so, we've got to do something. We got to move a little bit in his direction. Okay. Just see how much my time is going to be on this. Oh, it's going to be the problem. I know Joey's going to be like, got to keep it somewhat to a time. I'm not going to be able to get through those doing this right. Oh, I really wanted. So let me just tell you what he says. I'm going to jump. Let's do the end of this paragraph. And I'm sorry to do this, but in order, like I can't just kind of. We're not doing an hour share really. I'm not even doing necessarily a half hour, but again, you guys can stay out. We can do as much as you want. I'm just. Okay, so it says like this. Yeah, so it says, sorry, it's good. Okay, I'm by the word zochim. I'm sorry. We need the bunch. We can be kaddish ourselves, but the bunch has to be ultimately do it. The zochin lekach al yidei mamshichen es agiloy ba'aros shahayel Yisrael b'yitzias Mitzrayim. The way that we do it is because the bunch brings light into this world. Od lamed yom mitchilas haPesach ve'elach. There is a light that comes into the world. The cheven she'agiloy agadol hu bebechinas mora gadol. That's a bunch of revelation. Zeh gilui shchina, which is a bunch of revelation. Shezeh haya hagilui shel leil yitzias Mitzrayim. That was the revelation there. V'nimshechas bechinas zu kam kol lamed yom miPesach. So he's telling us a big chiddush. It didn't end there. The light of Pesach keeps going. It keeps flowing out. It's such a huge light. All right, whatever. That's something the queen sitting with all the crowns. That was something he talked about. The achrei halamed yom. You know what? I want to pause over here. I want to go further. Right. So basically, he's saying that there's a huge light that comes out. And we're going to be ending it by Pesach Sheni. So their concern is going to be, but we missed out. We missed out on this incredible opportunity. There's an incredible opportunity that happened in Pesach. It wasn't just a question of, oh, we missed Yom Tov. We missed the birthday party. We missed so to speak, our own birthday, right? A person, so to speak, it's hard to imagine what that means. But if spiritually we're looking to Pesach as our birthday, which means our spiritual birth, so we missed that day. We missed the boat. We missed something essential that's supposed to happen to us. It's supposed to transform us. A person, let's say, for example, you guys all have hopefully very positive experience when you go for have a Pesach Seder, right? It's like a different thing. Shabbos. Let's say, for example, a person has no Shabbos. He's totally Jewish, no Shabbos. You'd be like, he's missing the ikr. He's like being a yid without Shabbos, be like you missed it. Right? So that was bothering them. It was like, what are we supposed to do now? We've missed this light. So he said that's what they were asking for. Let me just do a little bit on the last paragraph right before Dalit. Alpi Maimon Moran, about 6 lines up. Alpi Maimon Moran, Baal Dvar Shmuel. Excuse me, Be'inyan Lag Bomer. Asher Hamida Bo He Hod V'Shebaho. I don't know. I don't want that there. No, 2 lines up. V'Zeh Miyuchad Bahara Gadol Shel Pesach Sheni. That's the great light. 2 lines up in Pesach Sheni. Shemeir B'Miyuchad B'Shavua Zu. Gam Lamisha Nimsa B'Bechinas Hanemuchos B'Yoser L'Bal Yidach Mimenu Yidach. Every Yid is going to be connected, and that's going to be the gift of Pesach Sheni. Pesach Sheni means, even though we feel we missed it, and many of us feel we missed it, right? There's a sense of, I don't know, listen, we know each other, so I have to share, and I'm doing much more talking than I like doing normally. I like to share much more. I was thinking today, I was sitting by the window, whatever, just thinking like, how much am I connected to Hashem? How much do I want to be connected to Hashem? Like, again, it wasn't the put down, but it was kind of like, wow, like I'm doing all this Jewish stuff. Like, where's God? Like, where's God in this picture? So, Baruch Hashem, I think during this whole crazy situation, being alone, I had a little more time to spend thinking about it. But like, we're doing Jewish things, and the question is, where's God? So that where's God is that's the Bal Yidach Mimenu Nidach. That's the sense of I'm disconnected. So Pesach Sheni says, no, you're not. You're not. You think you may be. You're not. A Yid is not. A Yid is not. He's not pushed off. He's not disconnected. That's what. And this day, there's a special energy that everybody's now in. Right? Again, how that works out on the Neshama level, I don't really know. And clearly, there are plenty of people that are out there that are not connected. But there's a certain spiritual energy, and in this day, you get reconnected. Because of Elu she'enam yecholin lahasig es madrigas b'yamahu. For all of the people that cannot reach this level of feeling connected of that day, b'yamahu means tell your children about that day, that incredible day, right? So he says, why? Because he was tamei lenefesh of derech rechoka. Why? Because he was either tamei or he was far away. A great shot over here. The idea is like this. Tamei, what does it mean that a person's tamei? The idea is when it comes to kedusha, bad news. And again, Rabbi said we all know about our Netflix, we all know about the movies we watch, about other things. There's a big problem in kedusha today. I'm not talking about stam when you walk in the street, everything is like whatever. I'm talking about the not nice stuff, right? And the not nice stuff, I want to encourage everybody over here. As an aside, I don't like to, I like to do things light. Everybody should be careful about the things that we know that are not good. The things that are hurting us deeply, let's try to stay away. Let's all of us try to stay away. But that's called tamei. So it means when they were saved, they were tamei. They couldn't do because they were tamei. It means a certain level on a more hashkafa level, on a certain philosophical level, they were tamei. They were distant from kedusha. But they were rechoka. What do you mean they were on a distance? I knew shahayu pogam be'emuna. They were distant, like they felt that their emuna was they were lacking. Those are the two ideas. Either they're lacking on a physical level, they're lacking on an emuna level. Shehem shneim meruchokim me'akodesh baruch hu. B'chinas ha'ovdim eretz asher v'nidachim eretz mitzrayim. A gewaltig shot. Do you guys know this? I think you guys all know the song. Right? Eretz Ashur is that was the place of loving, right? And they fought against our emunah. Mitzrayim was into shmutz. Again, he didn't believe in Hashem either, but they were all into shmutz. Was Mitzrayim. So those are the two things. The person who does have a lack of emunah, that's derech rechoka, and who's sunk in to the physical taivas, that's called tamei lenefesh. Kamuv v'sfarim v'kedoshin, like it says in this forum. Again, people are lost. That's the muna. Shehu b'chinas oved. He's lost. It's a very nice shot. He's lost. He's lost from Hashem. V'anidochin ela b'gumim b'taivas eretz Mitzrayim. The mice of those are the taivas eretz Mitzrayim b'chinas nidach. He feels pushed off. Shaholich midechi el dechi. He goes from one place. He doesn't. Wherever he goes, he feels he's lost. And this is a generation, Rabosai. People are walking around feeling distant. They're feeling distant from themselves, feeling distant from others, feeling distant from Hashem. It's Pashut, we're walking around distant. And hopefully we got a little bit more of a connection during this time. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't, maybe afterwards when we kind of finish up, we'll discuss how do we get closer, how do we stay connected to ourselves, do we get connected to others, how do we get connected to Hashem? Again, this was one attempt. This Navei, project is this idea of let's get connected. Let's reconnect, because we feel it's such a beautiful lashon. Midechi el dechi, just goes from here to there. I was thinking also that if we have a certain there's a certain punishment you guys unfortunately may have heard of. It's called kafakela. So kafakela says that there's an neshama. I don't know lower land, but it's supposed to be very, very terrible. Person gets thrown from one end of the world to the other, from this end of the world to this end of the world, and then back again. So I thought, again, in this world, we can sometimes play out these things, and a person can be walking over here and he goes over there, he walks over there, he walks over there. He doesn't have his place. He can't find a place. It's like like a little bit of a kafakela. V'avuram tiken HaKadosh Baruch Hu has Pesach Sheni. The Baruch did us a big chesed. He gave us Pesach Sheni shagam bo yordos osen ha'aretz sheyesh b'Pesach Rishon. You hear this, Rabbi Osai? You got to get ready. Get ready for this Pesach Sheni. You're going to get the lights of Pesach. Again, it's going to be smaller, it's going to be more subtle. But whatever was given over in Pesach Rishon is given over in Pesach Sheni. Like it says, al mitzvahs u'morim me'ochlu, because it says you have to eat it with matzah and mora. Pirish b'dugmas Pesach Rishon, just like Pesach Rishon. Sha'arus misgalin b'shas shematzah mora menuchim lefanecha. Right. V'hine af bizman hazeh la'achar chorban beis hamikdash. Even now with the beis hamikdash. She'ein yos anachnu yocholim la'alos u'lasos chavosenu beis b'chirasenu. We can't go to do the Korban Pesach. Ve'ein lanu es avodas hakarbanis b'poel. We can't do the karbanis. Mikol makom yesh hayim kayimim b'koach. Again, in potential, it's all here. Kamo b'chol karbanis kainhu be'inyan Pesach Rishon v'Sheni. We have the same idea even here. The Panemius and Yonim yesh gam b'zman hazeh Pesach Rishon. In these times, we have zman hazeh k'maymer Chazal. Like the Chazal say, "B'chol dor b'dor chayv adam liros as atmo ki ilu hu yotzim Mitzrayim." The idea is, mamish, he should see himself because the same lights are coming down now. Afilu misha meshuka, b'memte sharitoma. Even if he's sunk deeply, yesha aburo as a koach shel Pesach Rishon shu b'chinas yitzias Mitzrayim. He can take himself out of Mitzrayim. Lotziam in Mitzrayim. He can get himself out. Similarly, Mishu bechinas Tameh or Derek Rechoka. If he's distanced from Hashem, he's into the physical shmutz. He's distanced in Amuna. He feels so distant. He doesn't do the first Pesach. He doesn't get the lights of Pesach. He doesn't talk to him. Yesh avuro Pesach Sheni Gameidna. We can still get it now. The Zesh Shekaza b'Torah Kadosha. That's what the Torah tells us. Haloshin ish. That's the lashon of the pasuk, that each individual person, ish, not the tzibor, every individual Pesach person, and that really talks about when it wasn't the majority, was the minority. This and the man and this man and that man, so they get pushed off. Ki ish yihya mishya, because that person, whoever he is, mi ki yihya tamei or derech rechoka, whatever his situation is, he's tamei derech rechoka, the yesha avuro Pesach Sheni. For him, we give him Pesach Sheni. Shekasha Amar Zeh Ritzono Yisbarach Labal Yidach Mimeno Nidach. The Baisham wants nobody should get pushed off. You should feel the Baisham. You're gonna embrace me. You're gonna hug me. B'chol Yisrael Yagiu LeKabbalah Setorah Shed Tachlis Hayomim Me'ilu. That's the Tachlis, that the Baisham should bring us closer. We should feel connected. U'kamoshe Kshinu Eichi Tochim Shenenolim Hasha'arim Davke so it's happening. He's just mentioning right at the end of this piece that the gates are going to be closed the last 2 weeks, not this week. The last 2 weeks, the week of Yesod, of Yosef, and the week of David. So right now we've got 5 weeks. It really should have ended today. The bunch is going to say, no, all of Hod, I'm going to still bring you in from the light of Pesach. After that, now we're going to be getting sucked into the energy of Shavuos. Not sucked in, we're going to be pulled in a beautiful way. Right? And that, and this all fits into the whole discussion of when do we talk about a Yom Tov? The Yesh Omrim, some say Lamed Yom, some say 30 days. It's at least 2 weeks. Right? That's the 2 weeks that connects us to Shavuos. Okay, that's the side point. The main point is of this piece is that this is a time period. We feel distance. We feel tameh. We feel we're not connected. And the question is, how do we get back? So we always have to try, and we always have to rely on a gift. There's really no shortcut. Sometimes there's a big gift, sometimes a little gift. Sometimes we're almost, even we just are not happy where we are. But there's a certain movement that need, and without Hashem's help, it doesn't happen. So with Pesach was the light, it's the thing which connects us in the biggest ways, but we don't have it. We feel like, okay, now what? So Pesach Sheni is got another chance. And that's the idea that in this Yom Tov, this is the Yom Tov of the small person, of the person that doesn't get thought of, the person that doesn't get noticed. Again, we're in a world where if you don't go viral, like this video, it's not going to go viral, right? It's not, if you don't go viral in this world, you're kind of like worthless. And that's a terrible, terrible feeling because it's not like that. Every person has to feel it. We got to do this again and again and again and again. Like there's just no end of this generation talking to itself and saying, I'm totally precious to Hashem. Like the Baal Shem Tov says, and it needs to be repeated 1,000 times, that the love that Baal Shem has for every single Yid is the greater than the love that parents who are in their old age have for a child, for a single child they have after many years, right? That's the great thing that they have. That's the level of the connection that is that we should feel, that the Baruch Hashem loves us, we're connected, and that's what this Yom Tov is about. So it's really up to us, kind of just to reach out to Hashem, say I'm distant, I'm feeling tameh. Please bring me back. That's a little bit about Pesach Sheni. I appreciate you all listening in. I totally am open to hearing questions. If looks like David's in charge over here. I don't know who's co-hosting it, who else is doing the day, Joey. If anybody has any questions, you want to talk, wants to discuss something about any question that came up. Okay, thank you also, Cordo. And there's an Indian, whatever, you eat some matzah. It's a good thing to do today. Eat on Pesach Sheni, there's an Indian. Eat matzah, brings in Shabsireng. I don't think you have to eat more. I never heard anybody say Pesach Sheni, there's an Indian to eat more. It's a good question. I don't think I ever saw that. Okay, gentlemen, anything?
Shkayach Rabbi.
Thank you.
Cordo wants to know if there's an Indian to drink, take a couple vodka shots midday on a day like this.
Yeah, I think 4 cups of wine. I think 4 cups of wine. No.
He said, I think he said before, after Plag Mincha was the question.
Yeah, probably has to finish up. You should probably just tell him he should try to finish up his vodka before. You should try to finish up his vodka and no, tequila's no. Whatever chametz you have in the house that you bought him after Pesach, that you bought from the goy, then that's the stuff. You have to finish it up before tonight. Okay, Daniel, you'll take care of that. 4 cups of tequila. You may have to, but that.
Thank you, Rabbi.
What?
Thank you for the share. It's been great.
Who is this? Sammy? Yeah.
Sammy, yeah.
Okay, Sammy, thank you. It's really, I appreciate it. I really like seeing you around. It's a big physic for all of us. Again, all the guys and all the Rebbeim are just thrilled. I'm just thrilled to see you guys and being reconnected. And you totally have to reach out and tell us what you want, and we'll keep pushing. Sunday, we got a big event. Pre-log Bomer, Sunday, 8:30 to 10, our time, 1:30 to 3, your time. Is that right? Yeah, 1:30 to 10. A lot of good things going to be going on. Yeah, what you call it?
Shkayach Rabbi, have a good one. I got to run.
Okay, all the best. Now, David, don't get too drunk, all right?
What's
I know,
that?
I know, David, I know you were asking, I was asking for Cordo. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I know you guys for a few years. I have to ask a question for Cordo. It's
Yeah.
really pressing.
Let's see. Maybe maybe he has a question that I have. He can ask one of my questions.
Exactly. No, that's why he was asking about, you asked about the vodka, he asked about the tequila.
Right.
You're such good friends. It's very nice, scratch my back.
We know the other person's question exactly, right?
Just know each other. You just feel it. Yeah. What
Very
we got
good.
over here? David, nice to see you. Yeah, really nice.
Hader.
No, the other David, David Feder. You know David Feder?
Look at the base of English in the background of his background.
Yeah, completely. That's what. What do you mean? That's what his room looks like. That's what his house looks like.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, got the blood, got the korbanos. He brings animals into the house.
Trying to get the animals out of the house sometimes, Rabbi.
Totally.
Rabbi, I
Nice
asked,
work, David.
I asked
Good
last
Shabbos.
time.
What's that?
Howie Pearlstein said good Shabbos.
Thanks a lot. Have a good Shabbos.
Thank you, Howie. Thank you for joining us. Have a good Shabbos.
Rabbi,
Yes, Dad.
how are we possibly supposed to keep davening the way quarantine allowed us to daven? Half of me wants to go back to Minyan, and I really want to be davening with Minyan, but I also know that I'm going to lose out a lot.
I can tell you my answer to this question or what I'm trying to do, but I don't know if it'll work for you, and I don't know if it'll work for anybody else, because I found out that davening is a much more personal thing. I learned a couple things about davening. I'd love to hear what you think. Let me just, while I'm already talking, I learned that davening in a minyan is such a crazy concept. It's like, who thought of that? It's such a bizarre idea that I should daven with 9 other people. Like, let me talk to God on my own, in my house, or wherever else it's going to be. Davening in a minyan is obviously some very, very high avoda. That's one thing. So I'm trying to process, why do we daven in a minyan? What's that all about? I don't have it clear. And the Gemara says big things about Kaddish and, Kedusha. It's like Yesh Me Rabbah. I have thoughts, but they're in my head, not in my heart. The other thing is, David, I'll tell you honestly, I'm really trying to daven to Hashem that He should let me daven still. Like I should be able to get back to a minyan and still want to talk to Him, because I feel like I've talked more. Like I really feel, listen, it's hard to talk about davening because it's a very private thing, but I've just had a sense that the words of the siddur have talked to me much more. I feel much more connected to my siddur than I think I had before. And I'm really davening that Hashem should be like, Hashem, help me when I go into Shemona Esrei that I really continue thinking about you, even though I'm going to be with the people and it's going to be distracting and this and that. I think the biggest challenge for me right now is the Zman of Tefillah, because it starts a certain time, you get to Baruch Hu a certain time, and the minyan I've been davening at is not so fast. Not we're outside and it's not so fast, not so bad, but it's still like I can't just I have to meet them. And Shemona Esrei, that's the main. Unless you're going Al Pi Kabbalah and you're Chavatzker or something like that, you have to meet them at Shemona Esrei. So you work it out, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like that's the tricky part. Yeah. Anyway, how are you doing it? And you didn't go back yet, right? You don't have any outdoor minyanim yet.
I don't think I've ever said karbanos before.
Have you been saying it now?
Now I'm saying I don't know what to do. I can't imagine when I go back to shul that I'm gonna have time to say karbanos. I don't see how it's possible to even forget the fact that I barely ever am there, usually on a normal basis, to not have to just catch up. I'm usually playing catch up, but I'm saying, how am I going to say all this? Like it's all going to go away? It's just going to disappear?
I'm not sure what to tell you.
Am I allowed to skip out on minyan every once in a while? Like just daven on my own, just so I don't lose it all?
I can't answer that. Could be Rabbi Feldman would give you an answer. I would probably tell you. They would probably tell you no.
The answer is no, David. The answer is no.
Listen, if you'll have days. One of you guys, someone over here is going to be like Shmuel. He's going to be like a shtickle, Breslover. He'll tell you got to do his podidus. Listen, I don't see now how we're not going to do his podidus.
Dallas and Fedor are much more aggressive than I am. I don't know. giving me too much credit here.
I don't know. I think we just need the basic.
Dallas for
English at
sure
this
is.
point.
Dallas for
I
sure
think-
is, but I didn't want to like put too much attention on the guy. Like, I don't want him to.
I think we need the basic English. I don't see how we can possibly do this without it. How are we supposed to go back to normal? It's crazy.
My 8-year-old over here said that that the answer is that the more people, the more power. That's why you got to daven with the minion.
It's true.
Right.
She likes
Right.
your shirt.
Okay. I know it, but it's hard. It's not. I don't know. I don't have.
Isn't the source of davening Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov who daven b'yechidus, and then minyan was only because we all, and the organized davening is because we all forgot how to daven, talk to Hashem, and now Hashem's maybe saying, go back to the Bereshis, go back to how it really was, come back to me, talk to me.
Listen, surely, listen. There's definitely something on that level. If Hashem doesn't want us in the shuls, then we have to assume that he wants something. But if at some point he wants us back in the shuls, so then we've got to figure that out also. Like there's, you know what? Maybe again, I'm just going to share the processing that I'm doing. I think that we are all aware that our lives have before, like pre-corona, got very superficial. You know, we were just going through the motions. We're busy. We got our phones, we got our things, we got our work. So, and then by the end of the night, we're like schmatas. So the quality of life was like, it's just like not what anybody really, or not a lot of us really wanted. But on the other hand, Hashem has a world that needs tikkun. It needs to be fixed up. It needs to be, for us to change it and elevate it, and to be, to bring Hashem's like awareness of Hashem into the world. So, on one hand, we have to be public. On the other hand, we have to be private. And that balance, I think, got out of whack. So if we focus more on the fact that we now had an opportunity to be private, and we now say, okay, I'm going to need to bring that private world into the public world. And how we're going to do that, I don't know. As of this point, I don't have really much. I have a few thoughts, but primarily is to ask Hashem, like beg Hashem, please, I want to have a relationship with you, even when I'm like out there. But to know that there's that balance of public and private, we just have to add private in there, and it could be that Hashem it could be Hagufa that like the fact that we need to come to Hashem and tell him I still want to be more private with him, even though I'm going to go public. Maybe that itself is part of the tefillas that Hashem is going to want. But I'm only saying, anybody else who has any suggestions, I'm totally open.
I think there's something to be said also for like just in my personal experience, there's a difference when you're davening with a minyan of people who you really connect with and who you know and who you love versus walking into a shul where you don't know anybody, you don't, and halavai, we should have that connection and feeling with every Jew. But, there's a difference, standing in the Vey and davening with your family there. Or, some of us are lucky. I'm very fortunate. I'm part of a very special shul here in Toronto where it's like Joe's been there before, that we actually had a Shabbaton with the Mash there. It's a very intimate Geshmak minyan where people really care about each other. And
wow.
It's a whole different davening to be in a place like that versus, a place that's not like that. Right. Or, I know some of you here can relate to when you're in Uman and it's like Mamish Ish Echad B'Lev Echad. There's no problem that it's a minyan there. You wouldn't have that concern, right? Because you feel like you're one. It feels private in public, if that makes any sense.
Right. Yeah. So I guess maybe that we have to try to make minyanim that are going to let us experience that connection.
David, you're appointed the new minyan man of America.
Who's making the minyan?
Why not? If Mr. Fader wants it, feels that there's a certain type of minyan that would benefit him, and this opens him up to that, then Yanu, get it done, baby.
Meet me right over there. I'm starting right behind me.
Slow, fine group of people that came up with the same thing. They like a more quiet, private, slower thing.
Do you have a place, David? You have a place you daven? David Margolis, you have a place you daven?
As of a few days ago, yeah, Baruch Hashem, I've never been so committed to minyan in my life. It's
Why?
emotional too. There's no minyanim where I live. It's the opposite. You get in trouble if you chas v'shalom talk about it.
Really?
Oh
Really?
yeah. The whatever. I'm not going to give details, but I was of one of the last minyanim in the 5 towns on Shabbos, and well, okay, we'll give details. And the neighborhood called the cops on us on Shabbos. So
Wow.
it's not it's nicht push it. So we got back. I was told people know I became fervent about minyan in the past year or so. So I get notified. So I got notified of one, and it's outdoors. Everybody's standing apart. It's it's respectful, whatever it is. But it was a very, very emotional to be able to get back with you. You feel really like a Marine or like a Navy SEAL. Like there's nobody doing it around, and it's like this little group of 10, 11 people in a backyard somewhere, who normally wouldn't daven together anyway in the same minyan.
Right.
Yeah.
So but that's like that's a legal thing that's legal at this point in the States?
I believe it's legal, but this community here took a very strong position over and above the law. So I don't think it's okay to publicize in the community, but according to the law, yeah, it should be fine. I believe.
I'm not asking David about this.
Yeah, Mr. Fader.
I got my Corona mask back on for this one.
I'm not asking Mr. Feder on this question.
Whatever. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. What can I say?
A very hard thing. I'll tell you honestly, David, what bothered me when I was trying to figure out how to get to a back of a minyan, and Baruch Hashem, the minyan that I daven at now, I'm like, I have to go back to Yerushalayim next week, but I don't even know if we're going to stay, what we're going to do, but like, there's no question that we're following, like, it's this, I don't know if anybody knows Tzvas. If you remember Tzvas at all, this Sheni Be'eber, Rabbi Slavin always used to take the guys to Sheni Be'eber, and at the end of the street, there's a place called Saraya. I know that Pesach knows where this is. He's probably had at least a good dozen kumsitzes in the Saraya. It's a great big, and it's huge, like it's a huge place. And I would say we sit about, I don't know, 15 feet apart from each other. 10 feet is like that's pushing it. And there's about 12 of us, 15 of us. It's Kabbalistic, mostly masked, a couple of guys without the mask. But what I couldn't figure out was, what was bothering me terribly is, let's say the health department says you shouldn't daven in a minyan. I'm telling you, this was something that really bothered me. And I kept on bothering my Rav, should I go? And he told me, listen, Baruch Hashem, I just had my 66th birthday, Leonardo. So, Chazei Hashem, listen, I'm very, very fortunate. And, but I have to be careful. And I have a history. I had the number of times I had pneumonia. And Baruch Hashem, I'm feeling good, Chazei Hashem, but I just have to be careful, like, halachically. And my doctor told me I have to be careful. My Rav told me I have to be careful. Okay, good, fine. And anyway, so what was a concern to me was, let's say I go to a minyan, I really, really want to go. Like, it's hard for me not to hear Chris. I didn't hear Chris Torah. I mean, probably, you know what I'm talking about. You don't hear Chris Torah. What are we going to do? We missed out, Tav Shin Pei. We missed out on 4, 5, 6 parshas. What a, ain't ma lasot. So my question that bothered me, David, was, what if the minyan is really not supposed to be held? What does the Baruch think of my minyan? What did the Baruch say? Like, what did he say? Charlop, you were a chacham. You decided, I'm not saying about you, I'm talking about me now. Charlop, you were a chacham. Your doctor told you, stay home. Your Rav told you, stay home. And you decide, and Baruch Hashem, I didn't do this. You decided you have to say Kedusha. You don't like it being home. You missed the saying Kedusha. And you went out and you decided you're going to be in a minyan. Or plenty of nice guys, really nice guys. They daven, there's one place over here. There's not really social distancing over there. And where I was in Yerushalayim, it was even more challenging. So a minyan like that, does that give a bunch of nachas? The government says don't have a minyan. The town says don't have a minyan. I'm telling you, I'm not giving anybody a hard time. I'm just raising it as a shaila and a halacha and a hashkafa. I didn't ask a Rav this. I did ask somebody. I asked him if it was usher. It was mamish like a mitzvah bar bavera. That I did ask certain Rav. He told me it's not a mitzvah bar bavera. He says probably shouldn't do it, but it's not a mitzvah. It's not like it's usher to daven in such a minyan. That's what at least this Rav told me. He's a young Rav. But it bothered me. Like, that was the thing that just, I couldn't get peace of mind from. Like, if halacha doesn't want me davening with the minyan, and I daven a minyan because I like Want to daven with the minyan? So what is a bunch? All I want to know is a bunch of them going to get nachas? You're right, Shmuley, you're right. David, he's our Breslover. There's no question about it. So as our mamish representative Breslover, so the question is, anybody knows, right? Nasos nachas ruach, nasos nachas ruach. We want to get a bunch from nachas ruach. So is being with the minyan giving him nachas ruach? Then I want to go.
What if your Rav said you absolutely must go?
That's it. So there you go. You got to go.
Okay.
So you got to go. You ask your Charlop. The Rav told you got to go. You got to go. After 120, they'll tell you, what are you doing? The Meister, the government told you not to do it. And the town council told you not to do it. And the Rabbanim of the whole area went to tell you not to do it. He said, I understand. I wanted to go, but that wasn't why I decided to do it. I decided to do it because I asked the Rav. I asked my Rav. My Rav told me I have to do it. So let if it's chasram, if it wasn't the right decision, so it'll be the Rav. The Rav decided that that's what you should be doing. That's fine. I'm saying, but I wanted to express a sensitivity that struck me. That why do we daven in minyan? Because the bunch wants us to daven in minyan. It's like mamish, like, why do you eat in Yom Kippur? It's like, always those stories, you're not supposed to eat this Yom Kippur, Mrs. Schwartzbaum, you're not supposed to eat on Yom Kippur. I have to. Why did you fast? Bansham told you to fast. Why are you supposed to eat? Bansham told you to eat. Like, there's no, like, I don't want to daven in minyan. I don't want to not daven in minyan. I want to do whatever Bansham wants. Bansham, you want me to be in a minyan? I'll go to a minyan. You don't want me to be a minyan? I don't want to be a minyan. Tell me what you want. I want to give you nachas. That's what I want. Tell me how to give you nachas. Again, we're human, so it is more geschmack to daven in a minyan on a certain way. And David, you're right. It's a certain way. It's more geschmack to daven in your own and say kabbanis and just not to rush and not to have the pressure and and the guys in the back talking and the whole get the 16 telephones going while you're like, what's an aside thing, but it's so nice not to have telephones going off during davening. I often thought, if people were to treat telephones like Shabbos, you're walking into shul, it's Shabbos now. Could you imagine a guy walking into shul Friday night and all of a sudden you hear a ring? Somehow we remember on Shabbos not to bring our phones or to turn them off, but don't bring them. Somehow we remember Friday night, like that's cool, we got it. But you come Thursday morning, Kriyas Torah, and the thing starts, yo, dude, hello? Turn off your phone. And I one time I got really feisty with somebody, and sure enough, the next day my phone went off. I normally have it on silent or I have it off completely. I was like, oh, okay, David, just like chill, chill when it comes to Jewish people, chill. But
we have 3 Davids here. Just hit me.
No, for sure.
Slow.
Yeah, we'll take over.
Very good.
We'll take over for sure. Yeah, I don't know.
I think I remember it happened in Neve once. Someone's phone went off Friday night while the Nash was speaking, and he immediately took his glasses off and looked down.
Really? I remember one time in Shabbos in the old base medrash, some guy left his phone. He obviously forgot his phone, and it was on top of like the firebox in the back, behind like where Rabbi Hall used to sit. And I was there. I got there early for Pesach December, whatever. The daven went, and it went off. It was just like, what? It was so weird. And it was like, oh, this guy probably would have been answering his phone if he had remembered to bring it to his into his room, but he forgot it. So
I just want to say, Rabbi, thank you so much. Everything I'm hearing is beautiful and amazing. I'm sorry I'm only able to pop in for a second, but Yasher Koach Godol, mamish.
Beautiful. So we need somebody to bring in the karma. You know what I mean? Oh, we need a niggin.
A niggin bar yochai nimshach ka'asher shemen zasayin mei bar yochai nimshach ka'asher shemen zasayin mei chavirecha. Good Shabbos, holy brothers and family.
Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. I got to run too.
Yeah, I'm gonna run also.
Thank you.
Shabbos, Rabbi. Thank you very much.
Thank you all, gentlemen. Let's love. Have a great Shabbos.
Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. Full too.
Okay,
Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Shkoyach Rebbe.